We learned that in kindergarten and then all of us collectively forgot. But there's so many people making bank on the fact that the weather changes. But making soups is a lot better than shopping. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gita Marie and today I think we need a good little rewiring because every time I see fall autumn content on social media, it is typically related to buying new decor, shopping a new wardrobe, buying new colors, replacing trends with other trends. Overall, going into a new season has become synonymous with shopping and buying new. Here are my 30 ideas on fall things to do that doesn't involve overconsumption and also doesn't involve sitting on your phone scrolling. The irony of posting on social media about people not being on social media. But hey, at least we're not doom scrolling right now. So that's something. I've just taken all the ideas of things I love to do and things I want to do and put them all into one list and we're gonna talk about them individually. In many ways, this is the sustainable underconsumption equivalent of the pumpkin spice latte. So making your own spice blends or drying your own tea is actually easier than you think. I especially love looking for dandelions, which are plentifully available most places, and lemon thyme. These are fantastic. You can dry them in your apartment and you can turn them into tea. You can mix them with spice blends or tea blends that you already have, or you can make yours completely from scratch. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know that this is a soup hating channel, which means that every autumn I'm sort of in trouble because everybody wants soup. And I would like to say there's some personal growth happening on my end because I am becoming more and more so inclined to trying different kinds of soup and actually not hating it. My soup hating problem comes from the fact that if you just have like a bland soup with no textures, just softness, I feel like it's a waste of a meal. I will be sad. So I am making wonton soups, I am making noodle soups, I am making soups with sustenance and texture. I, at this point, have a few different soup recipes that I really recommend. A lot of them involve using seasonal produce that is plentifully available during autumn. I will leave some recipes down below for the most 10 out of 10 soups, but making soups is a lot better than shopping. I haven't done this in ages, but now that I'm talking about it and thinking about what kind of activities that you can explore, this came to mind instantly. When I was younger, me and my family would go to the forest or to the park and we would collect leaves, the most beautiful, pretty leaves, and we would dry them in phone books. I am old enough to experience phone books, but you can use any kind of book that you want, obviously. Forget about these leaves like 20,000 times. You don't have to like vacuum the whole entire forest floor, but find a good leaf and dry it and use it in wall art or in decorations and DIY projects and just look at it. It's really fun and completely free. What do you know? And I would like to segue this point into another point, which is just going out into nature. I say this so often whenever I talk to especially younger people about climate activism and environmentalism. One of the most powerful things that we can do to reset our mindset when it comes to our values, our priorities, what kind of things that we want to do, what we think about, how we are affected in terms of what we see on social media and what we want to buy, is going out into nature, is looking at the seasons change and is reminding ourselves about all the things that are more valuable than cheap shit that you can buy in the forest, wherever, whatever environment that you have close to you, a park even, do what you will. Going out into nature, you can spend money in there, which is fantastic. And you're reminded of nature's power as well as its vulnerability. It is so incredibly powerful and it will cost you absolutely nothing. When it comes to sort of more hobby-oriented things, I cannot not talk about different kinds of printing techniques. This is so much fun. And every time the weather starts to get shit, now I live in Denmark where the weather is often kind of crappy, I like to experiment with different kinds of printing techniques like potato printing or lino cut print. Making lino cut tends to require a few pieces of equipment, but printing with vegetables like a potato requires basically no gear other than, you know, paint, paper, and your vegetables. So it's not about whether or not we spend money, that is completely up to you, but it's how we do it and what we get in return. So one of the things, if you're spending money, that I absolutely love to do is spending money on learning something, a skill, a craft. Can be ceramics. Fantastic. Any kind of crafting, sculpting, 10 out of 10. And I had to put this on this list, if you need something to do this autumn. I have no problem being responsible for sending you down a Stardew Valley obsession spiral. It's crappy weather out and I don't want to be productive. That is what I do. If you have the option to, go to your library. There are typically, especially during the more so cozy seasons, tons of events. Typically it doesn't cost anything, which is fantastic. You can also borrow your books instead of buying them. You can also borrow tons of other things. Sometimes your library has computer gear, IT gear. Sometimes it has creative stuff that you can borrow. The idea that we have to individually own every single specific thing, all of us, is so misguided. When in fact there are so many things we don't really use that often. So easier to just borrow it at a library, whether that is a sewing machine, or whether it is a scanner, or whether it is art supplies. Going to a library, always, yes. We need to practice sharing, right? We learned that in kindergarten and then all of us collectively forgot. Another thing, if you want to get off screens, board games, which coincidentally I've seen you can also borrow in many libraries. If you are shopping for leisure, the best place to do it is absolutely the farmer's market. I don't think I could make a video like this without talking about woodworking and wood sculpting. This is one of my newer obsessions and I am absolutely hooked. So I am primarily making spoons, but it is so much fun and it's one of those things that fits perfectly with sort of the autumn vibe. And I just used my very first spoon to stir my soup very recently. A full circle moment. We are going way back to the Stone Age. Another kind of shopping for leisure that you can indulge in ever so slightly. Of course, we always have to be mindful and conscious and reflect upon why we buy certain things. But if you love the hunt of a good bargain, going thrifting is absolutely better than buying from new. And I especially so intensify this craving for DIYs during autumn and winter. And going thrifting, finding your supplies instead of buying them from new, 10 out of 10. This is a bigger one. This is something that I haven't actually experimented with myself that much, but I definitely want to. And when I'm moving into the big house, I am definitely going to. But repolster your furniture. If you have, let's say, a beautiful antique piece of furniture with an absolutely destroyed fabric backing, seat, anything of the sort. I want to do this. I want to do this so badly. I'm so excited about getting my own little workshop because I am absolutely going to do this. If you need stuff to do this autumn, there is also another thing that you definitely have been postponing that you can start doing and also find some enjoyment practicing, and it's repairing the stuff that is left in your junk drawer. I know for a fact that you have hidden away things that you know can be easily repaired in a drawer somewhere and you have just not gotten around to fixing it yet. I'm looking at you because I know you have something lying around somewhere that needs fixing. Instead of going out and buying something and spending money just as an activity, take that energy and use it on repairing those things that you actually really want to repair, but you just keep postponing. The time is now. This is an incredibly basic one, but alas, it is a classic for a reason. Baking. Honestly, I love baking and I do it way too little, but this is the perfect time to get started on that. We can absolutely still do all hobbies that we want to do without over-consuming and without buying something new. And if you need any kind of equipment or gear or something that you really want to experiment with, going on Facebook Marketplace or any other kind of secondhand platform before buying something from new is always the way forward. Anyway, I put this on this list primarily for myself, but also for you because I have tons of these recipes and I think you should make them too. Practicing more fine dining, gourmet elements, components and dishes. This is the perfect time to do that. This is the perfect time to get started. Then you have your attention-grabbing appetizers ready for the Christmas parties and New Year's. I did already say the library, but any kind of reading, great way to spend your time. You can overconsume books for sure, but you don't have to. And if you need any book recommendations, I just finished The Grace Year, and that was exactly the fuck it to the patriarchy that I absolutely needed. If you like The Handmaid's Tale, this is absolutely a book for you. I was blown away. It was so fantastic. Recommend. This is a super boring one, but cleaning. Sometimes when I have that sort of sometimes you get sucked in, that cannot not happen sometimes. And whenever I do that, when that happens to me, what I tend to do is that I clean my bathroom. You can also make your own holiday decor. This is also one of my absolute favorites. And starting out in October, I think is absolutely fine. So I like to dehydrate oranges. You can also take any kind of metal cans or tubes and cut them up and turn them into ornaments. It's also a great way to save resources and avoid the craving of buying new holiday decor every year. Because what's that about? Mend your clothes, sort of the same as repairing the things in your junk drawer. But mending, you can also practice embroidery, visible mending, any kind of stitching handcraft is so calming. You can also do crochet or knitting. I don't know how to knit for shit, but I love embroidery. It's one for the ages. Okay, so this is important. Defrost your freezer. Before you go out and do any other shopping leisure activity, defrost your freezer. Your freezer can spend up to 20% more energy if it's not defrosted, because it takes a lot of energy to keep all that ice in your freezer frozen. And removing that ice is actually something you can see on your electrical bill. And lastly, if you need an ingredient to use in cooking, it is apples or pumpkin. I'm not a big pumpkin girl, I'm more of an apple girl. You can make dehydrated apple slices. You can make apple sauce, freeze apple porridge, apple sauce down and use it throughout the entire year. Using apples now when they are so good. And it really helps to get into that sort of cozy holiday seasonal vibe. And you can get apples really cheaply at the farmer's market because they're in season, they're so plentiful now. And if you live in an area where someone has a fruit tree, like an apple tree in their garden, you might also probably be able to get them for free because people tend to give them away. Anyway, these were 30-ish, I think, activities, things that you can do instead of shopping. I hope that you like this video. Let me know down below what kind of activities you prefer to stop you from shopping and spending money and over consuming. It's different for everyone. This was some of my ideas, some of the things that I want to do, some of the things that I always do, some of the things that I wish I did more, not gonna lie. Have an amazing day and I will see you guys next time. Take really good care of yourselves. Until then, bye.